离婚了，但是离婚没多久呢，我就后悔了。
I got divorced, but not long after, I regretted it. It's too late to say anything now because my ex-husband doesn't agree to remarry me. My personal experience tells you that women should never divorce lightly. Over 90% of women regret it after divorce. My insight after divorce is that if a woman wants to live well, she shouldn't be too dominant in marriage. I was too dominant. I found fault with everything about my ex-husband, always thinking he did everything wrong, wanting to change him into the person I wanted him to be. I always felt that I didn't find the right person and never looked for the reason within myself. I thought that changing partners would bring me happiness, so I chose to get a divorce. But when I saw the video my daughter sent me, where she looked dirty and disheveled, I really regretted it. I finally understood that after the divorce, the one who suffers the most is the child. So, I want to remarry to give my daughter a complete home, but my ex-husband disagrees with the remarry. Later, I found a man who is 6 years older than me because I thought he could give me the happiness I wanted. But he not only didn't give me money, he even asked me for money. When I refused, he got violent. It really proves that saying, a woman who doesn't have a good first marriage won't have a good second one. If everyone thinks that changing partners will bring happiness and relies on others for hope, you'll never find happiness. Plus, it will only get worse. So, I regret it. If I hadn't divorced, at least I could give my child a complete home. At least he is the child's biological father and will surely take good care of the child. So now I really realize that it's my own problem. In a marriage, women should not be so domineering. When issues arise, communication is key. Both partners should try to understand each other's perspectives and think of one another. This way, they can move forward more happily.
Welcome to Asia China Unseen. In today's video, we're going to explore some real-life stories of Chinese women who divorced their husbands and later wanted to remarry them only to be turned down. Some of these women remarried, only to find that their second husbands weren't as good as the first. Now, they want to return to their exes, but the men refuse, feeling like they're being treated as a spare tire. This raises an important question: should a man take back a woman who once left him, only to realize later that he was the better partner?
10个离婚的女的，9个都后悔离。
Out of 10 divorced women, 9 regret it. I'm telling you, really, sisters, you need to wake up. Those who shout every day about changing men for happiness, I tell you, in the end, not many can smile. I'm telling you, 90% are these women. They've listened to too much toxic advice, and it really has an effect. Plus, these toxic friends keep brainwashing them, then they stab them in the back, and before they know it, they've divorced. They think changing partners will make life better, but after the divorce, many regret it. Then I slapped my thigh and said, "Oh, a woman who's been married twice is a hot commodity. Let me tell you, it's all a scam. In real life, if you're on your second marriage and you're a bit pretty, people will just borrow you. But you really have to think about it. There aren't many men who can help raise someone else's kids. Besides, think about it. If you can't make your first marriage work, how can the second one be any better? Two people with hidden agendas living together, do you think your kids are really theirs? Won't there be a lot of conflicts between them? At first, it might feel a bit fresh, but later on, the fighting won't stop. So, stop drinking that toxic chicken soup. There aren't that many perfect people in the world. The truly perfect man can only exist in dreams, and a perfect man deserves an even more perfect woman. In marriage, don't always think about changing others. As a wife, as a daughter-in-law, have you fulfilled your responsibilities? You should look for your own flaws and reasons, and think more about the other person's strengths. A man, as long as he doesn't abuse you and doesn't have extreme principled issues, shouldn't easily choose divorce. Money, whether you earn a lot or a little, is a different matter. You can create wealth together, and you can also nurture your feelings slowly. But the consequences of an impulsive divorce are not something everyone can handle. If I may say, if your wife often brings up divorce to threaten you, then you communicate first.
Divorce is a serious decision for both men and women. If your partner treats you well, hasn't cheated, and isn't abusive, it's worth trying to work things out before calling it quits. Communication is key. Many problems can be solved through honest discussion.
我离婚了，咋离的呢？就是一个男人。
I got divorced. How did it happen? It was because of a man. At that time, I found my ex-husband annoying, always nagging and stingy. He had controlling tendencies and even complained that I didn't dress appropriately. He also tried to stop me from hanging out with my friends. Then there was my new boyfriend. He was nice, gentle, and every word he said touched my heart. So when I was getting divorced, my ex-husband cried and begged me not to leave, but I didn't even look at him. I was so sure that the man outside would marry me. I was filled with joy, dreaming about a future with him. When I told him I was divorced, I expected him to say it was okay and that he would definitely marry me. Instead, he just said he loved me and then asked what my plans were. After that, he became increasingly distant until finally, he cheated on me to force me to leave. It really proves that saying about cause and effect, it's not that I don't hold on, it's just that the time isn't right. But then I thought, that man doesn't want me, but I'm still young. Even though I'm divorced, my child doesn't stay with me. There are plenty of people out there who want me, and I do have some looks, right? I could definitely find someone better than my ex-husband easily. But I didn't expect this. The men I met afterward were either really unattractive or just broke. Some even used my things, wore my clothes, and lived off me. I wanted to find a man who truly wanted to build a life together. But they were all divorced too, and most had kids. Gradually, I started to regret it and wanted to go back to my ex. I said, the child can't grow up without a mother. But my ex said, at first, the child cried for you every day, but now they have gotten used to life without you. At first I was asked to go back because he wanted to give the child a complete home. Now that I've stepped out, nothing will bring me back. From that moment, I realized I had truly lost my husband, my home, and even my child. Because now, the way my child looks at me shows a sense of unfamiliarity. At that moment, I finally understood that I had lost my husband, and I began to cry out loud. But my ex-husband didn't comfort me. Instead, he turned and took my hand, completely leaving me. What should I do now? I really regret it. This is a true story from my friend Xiao Mei. She said that after 5 years of divorce, she has regretted for 4 years and hopes I can help her. But now, he has remarried, so how can I help? I feel helpless. That's why I always say, divorce must be taken seriously, and I repeat again seriously, because divorce really has consequences. When a man loses a woman, he feels lost. When a woman loses a man, she loses her support and backing. The children are the most pitiful. Not only is the family broken, but they can also be affected for a lifetime. Moreover, someone who has made mistakes and is still so self-righteous about wanting a divorce, even a deity couldn't help her. For those watching this video, if you were Xiao Mei's ex-husband, would you forgive her?
我和前夫离婚已经5年了，现在我终于后悔了。
I have been divorced from my ex-husband for 5 years now, and I finally regret it, but it's too late to say anything. Last month, I received a video call from my ex-husband. In the video, my son said to me, "Mom, I hate you. Why did you leave me?" Other kids have their mom and dad around. When I hear him say that and I cried my heart out, unable to speak. I shed tears of regret. When my son was 15 months old, I chose to divorce my ex-husband. At that time, I gave up custody and paid $1,500 in child support every month. To be honest, at the moment I finished the paperwork, I felt liberated, free, and able to live the life I wanted. 2 years after the divorce, I met a man 5 years older than me and I got together with him. But he not only had no money, he also hit me. One time, because he asked me for money and I didn't give it to him, he beat me so badly I ended up in the hospital. At that moment, I truly felt hopeless and lost faith in life, shutting myself in at home every day, not wanting to see anyone. It reminded me of my ex-husband. Although he didn't provide me with a life of luxury, he never let me go hungry. He may not be romantic, but he won't hit me. However, my ex-husband said that since we are divorced, we shouldn't remarry. He knows I regret it. Now I finally understand where the problem lies. I shouldn't be so competitive everywhere. I shouldn't be so strong-willed, demanding perfection in everything, only wanting to change others. I know I was wrong. The kids are always with him and he won't let me see them. I think about the kids every day, crying until dawn, and I can't sleep at night. I truly can't live without my kids. Without them, I feel like a walking corpse. I finally woke up and I really know I was wrong. I shouldn't have been so aggressive.
Even if a family is struggling financially, both partners can support each other, work hard, and live a simpler, more meaningful life. There's no need to chase luxury brands or compare your life to others, especially not to your bestie, who might actually be adding more negativity than support. Marriage is a commitment that should be taken seriously, especially when children are involved. In any divorce, it's often the kids who suffer the most. So, if you were the ex-husband in these stories, would you take the woman back? Let's dive into our first discussion.